pretty wild. Right off the road. I'm actually not hiking here, but I just took a look because it's sort of a... Right here, there is a ton of bones all over the place. Scattered everywhere. Yes. Couple there. Let's see. I mean, there's that one. Big. Not sure what that is. They're just scattered. Bunch there. Look at that. And here. Right there. Something there. There's a big, like a thigh, a couple more there, and right there underneath that. Pile them over here. Come this way. There's a whole bunch. You can see right here, there's pretty wild. You come in here, there's that right there. Just all over, just spread out. Look at this. Taking a look. Another one there, it's brown. I don't know if that's dark. Even over this way. Let's see. I don't really see too many more here, I don't think. Just strewn all about. It's kind of swampy there. I don't need the wild though. That's what it looks like out here. Not sure what that is. Definitely interesting. I don't see any skulls of any kind. Not sure what kind of animals these are. There's a big something right there. There's little bones everywhere. That's where that sound's coming from. Definitely interesting. Still going. There we go. You can see a bone right down there, it looks like. So, interesting place. So I am just having a look at another different place, and right away I see this interesting curved tree. Kind of looks like a little opening here behind it. That's kind of a hanging branch right there. And it's kind of neat right there. This little, almost like an A. Look at this thing. What's holding this up here? Wow. Interesting. It's like it's sealed on there. This vine by something. I don't know what. Interesting little bend here. I'm kind of just looking at all these the sticks right there. I don't want to go any further and mess any of this up. And that one that's just kind of, the end of it's leaning against that. You see a lot of this stuff. It just seems like it could be meaningful in some way. All right, so there's that again. I was just right behind it, kind of just looking here. Interesting how that's kind of curved right there. If you really look, there's definitely a lot of, there's that, I don't know, right there, stick kind of hung up. Even right here. Wow, that's a big feather right there. That is, there's a pack of cigarettes next to it. Look at that. That's big. Another sort of curved, like an arch. Huh. Another one, possibly. Pretty cool. It's kind of open here. Saw something move there. Maybe a lizard? Or a bird, maybe. Sounded like a knock sound. Another beautiful day. I'd say it's about 80 maybe. I was just thinking, anyone that's watching that hasn't seen many of my videos, my name is Martin. I just realized I sort of just begin exploring and don't really introduce myself or tell you what I'm doing. For anyone watching that is wondering, right now I've spent a bit of time in the Midwest camping and stuff, and had some pretty interesting experiences, a lot of nights solo out in the woods. And I typically spend winters in Florida, and this whole subject of Sasquatch is relatively new to me, and I'm very fascinated by it. And so now that I'm in Florida, I just go out and explore and just see what I can find. I love exploring, and I love this whole topic. And so that's what I'm doing here. Just picked a random spot in a place I'd never heard of. It's different than my last video. No expectations. And just having a look, and whatever happens, whatever I might film, anything, maybe a deer, something cool, a lizard. And of course, I'm just looking to see if anything looks like it could have been done by Sasquatch, and also listening. I had mentioned kind of sounded like a knock sound. Can't say what it was for sure, but that's what it sounded like. I was moving, so I don't know how clear it's going to be on the video. But yeah, I just figured I'd sort of introduce myself and lightly explain what I'm doing, or quickly or whatever. And while I do that, just kind of panning the camera around so you can take in the scenery, see if you see anything. A lot of people that watch my videos see things that I don't. It's neat. I love hearing about what people see. And right now I'm noticing it's once again, just like my last video, it's very quiet. I just heard something going off on a video I did up the street where I found tons of bones. And so I can see that this looks like it's been trampled on, and looks like I can go a ways that way. Might check that out. I'm pretty close to the car right now and just looking around and seeing what I find. Second look, right in front of where I was standing, there's this tiny little bent tree. How cool is that? I was just having a look this way. Looks kind of like it could be bent there. Looking at the ground. A whole bunch of palmettos, I guess. That sure is. You can see a lot going on there. A lot of stuff that's intriguing. That looks like an interesting curve. Not definitive. If you look past, sure is a lot going on in there. Let's see. Trying to just gauge if there's a sort of clear vantage point without messing anything up. Wow. Now that right there, all those going up to the top there. I don't know if I could get there. It does look clear behind it, so maybe I'll try. Just from this angle, this here kind of looks bent. But they're not definitive bends, like sometimes it's shaped like a rainbow. Look at all this. It's interesting. I see right in that bush, there's stuff hung up in it. That seems to be something I see a lot of. Things that don't look like they would just get hung up like this. Listen for a second, looking at this thing. That definitely. I just heard straight ahead here, almost a couple things like landing. Interesting. Like maybe something fell, or possibly something was tossed. Here's something faint, not sure what that was. Along with that, it's like a bird or something. That sort of beetle sound in the background. All right. This coming in, I think, because I was talking about that one, and then there's this one here, and that one. Just sounded like a light knock right over that way. And that one. That just sounded like a light knock right over that way. Here is another boneyard, I guess. Wow. What kind of fur is that? Is that maybe coyote? These bones are bigger. Wow. My goodness. Look at that. There's these. Huge bones, huh? Those are big. And there's the top. What do you think that is? Wow. Looks like the fur right next to it. This is pretty fresh, I would think. What is that? Right over here, look at this. Big bones. There's a jaw. Wow. Morbid, but it's also fascinating just looking at the full anatomy, I guess. Somebody did not eat the bones. Wow. There's the rest of it over there. I would imagine that was wet not too long ago. Can't get over the jaw. Look at that. So, pretty subtle stuff, but this little kind of caught my eye a little bit, the way that those top ones are bent, and then when you come down and you just see it's like a lot of sticks that are hung up in there. Then of course down the bottom it's sort of curved, but pretty neat. Over here, the vines go up and there's sticks that are caught in that too. This big limb kind of just hung up by that vine there. Reminds me of a lot of stuff I've seen where there's just one big stick kind of at an angle. And it looks like it was maybe broken off from right there. Just having a look around this. Very open here. Kind of sounded like a little, almost like a knock sound as I was just saying open here. At the very least, these areas are pretty cool looking. Maybe a little bit eerie. Kind of looks like, well, definitely looks like the tree was broken by something. Let's see. There was something fell right here. hit off the tree or something. Look at that tree. Loving how open this is. Kind of walk in these wide areas where I can just see. I don't like to get too close, you know, to bushes like that if I can help it. But wow, look at this. Interesting over here. There's let's see, mushroom. I was looking at how there's a couple trees knocked over. This one snapped right here. Doesn't look too old. Snapped off of this. Kind of trying to get the sun to my back. And then that was uprooted. Got these palmettos here. Some say that when Sasquatch push a tree over, they might leave stuff that kind of leaves their mark or something. Obviously, I don't know what could have pushed this over, if it was the wind or what, or just natural water. But figured I'd have a look, especially being right next to that one. There's a huge, like, curved, humongous, whoa. What is that? Is that as curved as it looks from here? Wow. That, oh my goodness. Okay, let me get over here. Wow. That is, kind of hung up right up there. It sure does look like it has a bit of a curve to it, a massive one. I don't know, maybe it could grow that way. I guess being right next to these other trees broken makes it a, maybe you would say, suspect, intriguing. See if there's anything else right nearby. There's that huge one right here that's broken a few feet up, long time ago. Oh, now that one right there behind it, that is, but I also wanted to see this. This is snapped right there. And then there's, there's a huge, like, root ball right there. Take a look on the other side. Wow. Open this way. Come here. Oh, wow. That just gets really looking, wow. A lot going on there. All kinds of stuff going on there. And it's wide open here. So I'm just sort of looking and obviously letting you guys look through the video. Wow, sort of a huge mound. I think that must be from a tree falling. Looks like I can kind of get through here. There's a lot going on here, huh? But this one over here is what, and this thing's interesting. It's like a vine that's like this. Just, if I wasn't looking down, I might trip over it. But that one right there, I don't know, you could, it goes over this big one. So I don't think this, and it looks like that big one has been there way longer. This thing still has leaves, so I don't think that big one broke this. I mean, of course, I know I've seen a number of these. It looks like it's about 10, 12 feet up where that is. Wow, that's a cool spot. Barely off the road. I've barely even gone in the woods because I'm just looking at everything. Really just intriguing the way this is all. Obviously right there, there's lots of leaves growing over stuff, but huh. Do vines grow that way? I honestly don't know. Exploring, love exploring. That's an interesting clump of like grass kind of shoved in there and leaves. Look at that. With, it's almost like a design, right? With those red, wow. What is that? That's like art, if you ask me. If anything around here was done by hand, maybe this? I don't know though. Maybe that's something that grows that way. I see another one. I'm learning as I go here. I see another one right over there. So anyone that's watching this, want to tell me what that is? I don't even want to pick at it. If that was happen to be put together by someone, I don't want to ruin it. But maybe there's something you can see close up that gives something away here. Let me get on the other side, because that's really neat. So I haven't ruled out that this could grow this way, because I see some more of it. Man, that is cool if it is, though. Even if it grows, maybe someone else watching will learn, because that might have grown that way. Because I do see over this way. Right over here. So that does look like it grew out of the wood, I think. There's one there. They all go through though. It's just, that does look like it's growing. So maybe they are. I'm sure someone watching will know what it is. Look at that. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Got all this stuff in the, oh. Over here, we have another snap tree, and look at the top of it. It's kind of odd, but look at that, another one. I'm starting to think, once again, I think somebody might have done some of this, maybe all of it. I mean, just look at all of this here in one place. You guys tell me what you think. I'm obviously in a place where I felt like it's possible that maybe there would be some signs that might be Sasquatch. These are one of them, tree breaks like this that I find, I've seen a number of them. This one's about 6 feet up. It's about right at my height. I'm actually just below 6 feet tall, but it's about as tall as I am, this one right here. Just looking at everything around it too. Not sure, I think I was just talking and thought I was recording, but anyways, very interesting here. Branch kind of hung up. Just a lot going on. The way those vines are sort of wrapped around the tree. You can see they're sort of wrapped around it sideways, looks like on this side. So much going on here. That snap tree there, of course. These things that are just sort of and then goes over here. And I'm looking at the ground too. Just the way some of this is. I know some people look at that, and I think there's some people that can see things on the ground. Over here, just goes and goes. Sounded like a knock. Definitely seems like a lot more going on than just a tree fall. There's another snapped one. Freaking crazy. So it looks like around here. And if anyone is here with me now, thank you for allowing me in here. Bless you. I love having you around. Look at that one. I feel like there's so much to see in here. What a cool little spot. There's that, you see that stick there, kind of horizontal, just sort of the big end of it right there. Just kind of hanging. Like something like that straight ahead. It's like, almost seems like on a close glance, it might not seem like a thing, and then you maybe look at it closer and start to really wonder. And then just through there, as I stand here, I just wonder about a lot of stuff. Maybe to somebody watching it, something's obvious about this at one point. I'm not completely fixated on absolutely knowing what was Sasquatch, what wasn't. I'm just fascinated by looking, wondering, and exploring. This doesn't even look like Florida to me right here. Just all these bushes and stuff. There's all this right here. All this. There's another snap tree right there. This little one. A lot of snap trees over here. That's the third or fourth that I found that was bent like that. And if you want to be objective, I don't really see anything that could have landed on it to do that. And it's kind of, it's on like the outside of that one. You can see, and then it's sort of just goes down in between those vines on the outside of these ones. I'm looking at this here, and that curve is very intriguing to me. Let's see what the top of it looks like, if there's anything. Nothing really pinning it, as they say. But yeah, that's an interesting curve right there. It's actually out of a, this is, part of it's snapped off, part of this tree. You see right there. Ooh. Pretty cool vantage point here. All these are kind of leaning. It's a bit of a curve to some of them. Just a lot of them leaning in a sort of horizontal way. And then right here, there's this one that's kind of propped up there. Maybe it broke off of that and then was maybe placed there. There's quite an interesting curve to that root. seen one of those before. I don't know about those, if they grow that way or what. And just really cool. All the scenery is so, I'm loving this today. Hope you guys are enjoying watching. What a spot. That sounded like a knock. What a spot. That sounded like a knock. Greetings. If that was anyone, thank you. Bless you. It's wonderful to hear you. I'm actually heading towards that sound, not directly. I'm not really my thing to chase after sounds, but I was already eyeballing this direction. It's just so cool. Just the scenery. It's beautiful. And if anyone's listening, and if anyone out there did this work, it is beautiful and I love it. And thank you for allowing me to look at it. And I have some other friends that will be watching this video, and they will appreciate it too. And they will be teaching me some stuff that they see that I don't see. Everything about this area is attention grabbing for me personally. Even this stuff. It's just, it looks like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a magical something. Magical forest. Cool little, it's almost got like a personality to it. Just heading this way. Loving how a lot of this is so open here. Kind of thinking I'd like to find a little log or something to chill on for a minute. Maybe just listen. Looks like a trail. Man, that's the way I came. This got so cool. Hey, birds. Didn't hear any birds last time. That's interesting. I'm almost sick of hearing myself say that's interesting. I'm sure some of you watching feel the same way. I'll see if I can restrain myself and just sort of point out the obvious, or just really interesting or something. One of those orange markers. It's got to be hunting, I'm imagining. Almost looks like I could maybe sit on it. Right there. Oh, okay. I think I'll just chill for a couple minutes and let you guys listen. Try to put this camera somewhere that you can see. Here. I don't know. Where can I put you? Maybe just... just my lighter. me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Something else I do, just I will say a prayer. I say a lot of prayers when I'm out. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Little side note, I think I heard something over to my left there. Someone. Anyone that's listening out there, blessings to you all from the great Creator. I hope you're all happy, healthy, all your provisions are met. And I really appreciate you allowing me out here. Hopefully that plane passes. So just like to hear. Definitely a couple light sounds that are almost like knocks. Oh, I see an orange up in a tree. I'll show you guys in a minute. It's like an orange tree right here. That's so cool. And thank you, God, for this beautiful day, this beautiful creation. Video not too long. I hope it's not bothering your ears. I heard the sound of electronics could maybe bother your ears, and I hope that when I'm recording like this, it doesn't. More wildlife sounds this time. Gosh, last time there was none, except for a couple owls during the day and then birds at the end of the night. I feel good, peaceful. I some prayer and visualization before coming out. Something I've been encouraged to do, and it feels right. Set the intention. There's where I was just sitting, and right over here is some oranges. So cool. Wild oranges. Don't see any on the ground. Right over this way, it gets kind of muddy. This is the direction that I was just filming in. A lot of impressions in that dirt. And there's what it looks like out there. I don't see any impressions that are jumping out at me here. Certainly an interesting vantage point here, though. Very thick. Quite open, too. Look around. Freaking cool looking, isn't it? All right, so I'm out here, and some of you might know what I mean by this, but I have that feeling like I'm not alone. And I actually spoke out loud just before I hit record that is exactly what I'm going to do this portion of a video on. I just have that feeling, and I'm grateful for anyone that is around, if anyone is. It's a neat little like stump thing here. Just heard something, I don't know what that was. I don't know if it'll come out through the video. Sometimes I can hear stuff and you can't hear it, but I'm gonna just sit here and listen. Look that way. Then I'm gonna go that way. tree there, huh? Look at this place. All right, right here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but right there, that really looks shaped like a foot. Not a shoe, but a foot. It's almost like it was wet and it just left this really, sounds like more owl sounds. There's another one, pretty close to it, but if you can see that. And I'm not sure, but that really looks foot-shaped to me right there. Pretty neat right there. I've just heard that. Kind of like an owl. Or a bird. There's that one. Kind of just hanging there in the middle of nowhere. Just having a peek here at this little. He's right next to this that I was just looking at, kind of all leaning. That's kind of neat there. These vines. Trying to sneak through without messing stuff up too bad. And there's that sort of trail looking thing. Bit of a curve on those. If I look that way, dead center of the screen, you can see like another snapped tree, and wondering if this one might, it's an interesting sort of bend on it. Maybe it grew that way. Those are funky looking. Let me know if you see anything interesting that I'm not talking about. lizard over there on the log. Looks pretty old, this. Another snapped tree in there. Broken, whatever. Whoa. Did you guys hear that? That was close. Another daytime owl, right where I just came from. Wow. So cool. Wow. I've had a lot of people tell me owls don't do that, so on that, I'm going to say thank you. It's wonderful to hear you. And even if it is an owl, it's a wonderful sound anyways. That one sounds very good like an owl, in my opinion. No expert, but I have looked up recordings. And some people watching this will understand when I say they're getting better at it. It's kind of an inside joke. Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. I'm serious too, either way. And there's a little thank you too, if that was someone over there. Bless you. Little tap sound. And whatever you think of that, I have no preference. It's totally cool. Whether you absolutely know that was an owl without question, that's cool. But I have heard people say not only do Sasquatch imitate owls, but a few people have also told me that owls in the daytime would be very unusual in the daylight. Aha, getting close to the road. Okay. I think I have to head back towards that owl sound. I'm happy to do that. Another snapped tree. And more palmettos all on the ground. I'm just gonna get a little closer to the street here since I'm here, because just have a look. Always drawn to those little mud spots to see if there's any footprints or anything. I do see a really cool curved tree right here. Doesn't look like any footprints. It's not really muddy actually, but look at that. That is cool. Beautiful curve on that right there. That kind of looks like handiwork to me, very possibly. I noticed something else about it, that a sort of pattern of sorts, I guess, that I'm noticing in Florida is if you look at the end of it there's a couple of those palmetto leaves that look like they're almost tucked in there. Man, I am... If this looked really intentional to me, I might be, but these do look like they were just laid down. It could be some sort of bedding for someone at some time. I don't know. It's kind of neat, that whole, whatever that is, vines and big, huge broken tree and stuff. Right, so I'm heading back. There's those sort of curved, bent trees again. And that sound of the owl is straight back, which is exactly where I just came from. And if I was to triangulate from here, it sounded low, like that height. It didn't sound like it came from way up, for whatever that's worth. I'm not going all the way back that way. There's a nice curve right there. I think I might have been here. This might have been the spot I was at, but there's a nice curved in that. Yeah, straight back there is where I was, I think. There's a bit of that here, so. Look at that thing. Of course, I would love to hear from anyone that is here. I would love to hear you. I'm not trying to film you, but I would love to hear you. I'm not trying to film you, but I would love to hear you. That was really close. Kind of like a tap. Coincidence? It was like right above me. All right. It's like a possible bend right here. Or maybe possibly once was. Another interesting angle to a tree there. Right there. Kind of like that owl sound, but more in the distance. I'm almost back at the car. What an awesome spot. If anyone can hear me, thank you. Bless you. If anyone was here with me, it was an honor, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That again. Oh, wow. Like some dogs in the distance. And I just heard what sounded like possibly 3 knocks. So, I don't know if that has any meaning, but it actually legitimately sounded like 3 knocks. I'm leaving anyways, so. That was pretty cool though. A crow up there. And it took off. Perfect ending. Hearing quite a bit of wildlife, and on my way out, I saw this incredible looking feather right here. Does anyone know what that could be? A lot of sounds now. I'm going to take this with me. Not sure what that was. Kind of like a bark. I think that's a dog. Anyways, so I saw this beautiful feather on my way out. Anyone know what that is? That thing is amazing. Wow. And a dog barking, it sounds like.